It's Dave Johan once again for Punch Out Boxing in association with Fight Zone TV with the great Roy Jones Jr. How are you, mate?
I'm great, mate. How you doing?
I'm good. I love the mate at the end as well. That's really good.
Good on you, mate.
So what brings you to sunny Sheffield, should we just say as well? Steel City.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis HOBSON. Always brings me here. Always an awesome time here. I love the hospitality. I love the people here. And, I love to be in the UK, period. So coming to Sheffield is always awesome for me.
I mean, there's a big show that you'll be part of with some of your fighters, some of your talent on Saturday. Who you training? Who you here with on Saturday?
Well, I'm here to work the corner for Adrien King. Yeah. I think he's one of the next stars in the heavyweight division. He's probably a few years off, but he's a beautiful talent. I see a lot of things that can be done with him. Dennis recognized him early and signed him, which was a very smart thing because you very rarely find guys with that kind of potential. And anytime you have a heavyweight with that kind of potential, it's a beautiful thing. I just hope that we can get him together and get him in the gym with me so I can help him pursue that professional career, have him pursue being the best heavyweight within the next 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, because the heavyweight division is booming at the minute, isn't it? I mean, let's say it's gone back to it's getting back to the glory days, isn't it, with the heavyweight division?
It's sort of getting back to the glory days, but, it's so much up and down until it's difficult, but that's how the glory days kind of were. So, yeah, I guess you could say it's getting back to the glory days, but me and Dennis just want to make champions. He said one. I think we can make several. My little guy here, Tony Curtis, that's of the UK, he's finally turned 18, so I think me and Dennis can do a lot of things with him as well. I still train Archie Sharp, so hopefully we can get Archie going. So, it's just a lot of things for me and Dennis to do over here with Fight Zone too. So I'm just excited about the opportunities and the possibilities that we have. We have so many different possibilities to truly impact the game. You understand me? With his knowledge in promoting and my knowledge in the sport of boxing, there's no way we can lose. So,
I mean, in regards to the fight game when you were fighting and the fight game now, a lot's changed. And one of the big sort of changes that's happened is social media, should we just say as well, in terms of what people put out there, and they want to be a star on social media first and everything like that as well. So how do you balance people when they come into your gym in terms of how do you reconcile that in terms of people wanting to be a star before they want to fight?
It's funny that you say that, but what happened was when I left, there was a gap created in boxing. And the gap that got created in boxing was that people didn't want to fight to be the best. They wanted to fight to make the most money. That created a huge gap. So now, since the goal was to make the most money, now you got guys that can go on social media, build up a fan base. This guy builds up a fan base. Now you got a good match, his fans versus his fans. So that's competition. Even though they're not the top level fighters, it's still competition. And what's the best way to compete? Fighting. And boxing is the easiest and safest. So it's like, and one of the oldest. So it's like, because people didn't want to compete for the top spot, it gave all these influencers and other people an opportunity because the door open. If you want to see a good fight, you couldn't get it in the real boxing ring, but you could get two guys who are not that good, who also have a lot of fans, to go compete against each other. They'll put it on the line. But the real fighters stopped putting it on the line. So that gave an opening for what we have now called like misfits boxing and all that, because these guys who just have a social media name find another guy with a social media name, and you got a big event. And that's why that happened. And it's okay with me because it brings other eyes to boxing. It brings more people to the sport of boxing. But I hate that it happened because of the fact that the fans were so thirsty for an even good matched fight that they went for whatever they could get. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be honest. Everyone's in this game to get paid, in no way, shape, or in some way, shape or form. And when we look at your fight with Iron Mike Tyson, the exhibition that you had as well, that was the end result, wasn't it, in terms of getting paid, which is fine. I just got to ask you there, how hard does Iron Mike hit? Was he still a hard hitter at that age?
He still hits just as hard as he ever did. Right now today, just as hard as he ever did. Yep.
And in regards to looking at your career as well, who was the? I've read as well that you said James Toney was the hardest person that. No?
I said James Toney was the best fighter I ever fought, pound for pound. He was the best fighter, best opposition. But the hardest puncher I ever fought, pound for pound, was Murky Sosa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Merky Sosa was one. I'm talking about. Merky Sosa punched so hard that he missed me once, and it pissed me off because of how hard it was, and it missed me. It went down my face. Whew. I said, "Oh my gosh, he tried to kill me." Okay, let's go and get him out of here. Then you feel me? So that's how hard he punches. So it is what it is, though.
Where did I mean, we spoke to Dennis not so long ago, and the main connection between you guys that got it all together was Clinton Woods. Is that where this friendship blossomed from, in terms of him bringing Clinton over? And Clinton is still a name amongst boxing fans here as well. Is that the connection?
That's definitely the connection. And the beautiful thing about it is this what I always tell people and try to teach young athletes. You go up, you come down. You try to stay the same as you go up, so that when you come down, you're still the same. If you treat people good and right as you go up, then those people will be there for you when you come down. It's like Dennis came, bought Clinton, and said, "Hey, would you fight Clinton? Clinton's ranked number 1. Of course I'll fight Clinton if he's ranked number 1. I am the champion. My goal is to fight everybody that meets that number 1 spot. I know they don't want to give him a shot, but if he's number 1, I will fight him. I don't care what nobody says. The network might not want him. I don't care about all that. If I give you my word, we fight. And I'm giving you my word, we fight." And we fought. So that's why Dennis still has the respect for me, because he knows that I'm a man of my word. I was at the top of my game. I could have picked anybody. I could have did like they do now and said, "No, I don't want that guy. He's kind of dangerous. He's tall. No, I don't want him." No, it's not what I did. If you think you got a chance, if you thought you could beat me, please come to me. And that's who I was. So because I kept my word with Dennis back then, me and Dennis still are cool. And Dennis still keeps his word with me now. And that's a beautiful thing, because that friendship was born way back then, 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And today we still doing business together. That tells you that's a sign of two remarkable people, because they don't change.
100%. Is Dennis going to take you around the city as well? Where does Dennis take Roy Jones Jr. in Sheffield?
Wherever Dennis go, I'm cool to go.
Meadowhall, Dennis? Anywhere? Yeah, get some shopping.
I don't want him getting mobbed. It'd be bigger than any Wednesday or Sheffield United star. He's a superstar, so we don't want him getting mobbed.
Where did the musical talent come from as well? Because your song is still used in people like Joseph Parker's Ring Walk, You All Must Have Forgot. Don't worry, I'm not going to say bust out some lines now, but does that still make you feel good that newer generations are still listening to you on ring walks? You're still remembered in the game in some way, shape or form. Boxing, music. We'll talk about the movie career in a second as well, but how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel awesome, but what really makes me feel awesome is the fact that God has blessed me and embedded me in the sport, really in the world, and He made my name such a name that He feeds us Roy Jones from everywhere, training, boxing, movies, music, everything. He gave us so many different dimensions, and when He gives us these opportunities, we have to have the heart, the faith, and the mindset to capitalize. So like I always tell fighters, what you do, in my opinion as a fighter, you take a good fighter or a great fighter and you update him. You can't miss. So Muhammad Ali was doing rhymes. Yeah. I said, if I'm going to update Muhammad Ali, what I got to do? I got to do songs. Because he already did the rhymes. Rhyming would just be being like Ali. To upgrade Ali, you got to do songs. So I started doing songs. And look where I'm at now. Y'all must have forgot.
Yeah, we've got it on our ride here, to be fair. But another stroke of genius, the devil's advocate, Al Pacino, Keanu Reeves. What some people don't know, boxing fans definitely know this, that was an actual fight that was happening, that was being filmed. It wasn't recreated how Ocean's 11 did it or anything like that. I've got to ask though, is Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves, are they fight fans? Did they spend time with you on set afterwards? Don King was also featured in the picture as well. What do you remember of that experience?
They both are fight fans. They both were fight fans and still are. They didn't spend a lot of time with me, but I talked to them and I knew that both of them were fight fans. But here's the funny thing about it. What I remember most is that they said, listen, we're shooting a movie. Your part can't be scripted. You're actually going to be fighting. They're taking a piece of your fight and putting it in the movie. You know what that means? Yeah, I know exactly what that means. I better not lose.
And after this as well, you appeared in one of the Matrix films as well. And was that something that you were going to consider in terms of after I hang them up, I'm going to go Hollywood, as they say?
No, I never considered going Hollywood because Hollywood is so different now, and people have so many different things that they do in Hollywood that it's like if you don't play by their music, then you're not going to win there. And I'm not that kind of guy that want to play by anybody else's music. I love my own music, the music that God gives me. Mm-hmm. So I don't choose to be like those people. I don't care what they do, what they make, I don't care. I don't want to be those people. I want to be me. I love what God made me to be. So naturally, organically, I try to stay me.
And who else would you want to be at the end of the day? Another thing with Sheffield, the Undisputed game. It's made in the city. So I don't know how much you know about it, Dennis, but you're featured in that game quite heavily as well. Before this as well, you were in so many computer games. What was that process like? Did they just contact you? Did you have to shoot, or was it just done by pictures?
No, you have to shoot. I actually came here to Sheffield to do a remake of it because when they made it, I looked at it and I realized they had me looking too Mayweather-ish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I had to come back. I said, no. That's not Roy Jones. We different. He fights the shoulder roll. I don't. We got to change that. So I came over here. We went back in the studio. We changed it. And I think we got a great product now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. It's going to be released, I believe, October the 11th in this country, worldwide as well. So we're really looking forward to that. In regards to another thing which is happening with yourself, Dennis Hobson, Fight Zone TV as well. It's the 5 versus 5 tournament, USA versus UK. We're really looking forward to that one. October the 5th, I believe that's going to be over in Texas. Can you reveal any of the fighters? What do you know so far?
I don't want to reveal many of the fighters because anything still can happen at this point, but I do know that James Crunch Time Wilkins is one of the main ones fighting for the world title, and I will be eager to see that happen. But, it's like, for me, I know it's my name and everything, but I'm the type of a guy that I just love healthy competition. These guys are getting an opportunity to compete with guys that are right around their level to find out who's the best. These are the type of guys, they don't get normal opportunities. So for them to go fight these 50-50 fights because they're getting an opportunity, you should tune in and watch them because these are the guys that come to fight for the fans. They're not fighting for the check, they're fighting for the fans. They want to win, they want to become champions, they want to win this battle, but they're fighting for their country and they're fighting because they love the sport. They're not fighting just for a check. So it's a little bit different, and these are the kind of fights that I love because these guys give their heart and their soul just because they love the sport.
Yeah, that's what we need nowadays. Final one from me though, and this is coming down to sort of the British fighters we had at the time, Roy. Chris Eubank Sr., we had Nigel Benn, you fought Joe Calzaghe. Were there any talks earlier on to fight Nigel Benn or Chris Eubank Jr. or even a Robin Reed back in the day? Were there any talks, negotiations? Or?
In my prime, the door stayed open. In my prime, if you were anybody, you had a name, the door was open. He had the heart to bring Clint Woods over there to me, and we made it happen. Now, to his credit, Steve Collins did come, but for some reason, his group and my group could never get it together. I don't know why, but he did come over there. He did try. And I wanted to take on anybody that wanted to fight. That's who I was. So what happened between them, I don't really know. And then he wasn't at his prime at that point either, so it wasn't pressing me because it wasn't like he was an undefeated guy who had never lost. So it was a little bit different. But I was ready for whatever. I'm just that guy. So in my prime, you come, we fight. So like I said, I don't know what happened with them, but if he would have came directly to me probably personally, like he did at a press conference, I know for a fact we would have fought.
Absolutely brilliant. Roy, we wish you the best for Saturday night. We wish you the best for all the fights with Fight Zone TV and beyond as well. It's going to be good. We're really looking forward to October the 5th and what is going to be a spectacular USA versus the UK. And also, there's one in the Cayman Islands as well, but there's loads going on Fight Zone. Stay tuned to Punch Out TV as well. And all the best, Roy. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.